Today, we're talking about a game that is near and dear to my heart, Gris. Gris is a game that feels... no, Gris is such a beautiful and simplistic game with such a deep underlying meaning behind it, with its symbolism and its music and its artwork, that it takes what you think of a game and it just like blows it out the water. AAA gaming has come to a point where we believe that high-res texturing, 3D imaging, and making sure that things are almost as lifelike as possible is the hallmark of great gaming. When in actuality, Gris comes out and says, "Hey, have you seen all the stuff that I've drawn in my sketchbook? They look nice though, right?" Because it literally looks like a college student's sketchbook just come to life. It's so beautiful, so majestic, so magical. Gris starts in such a simple way, thrusts you into a world of bland colors. It starts out with its gray. Each color has a meaning, from gray being about denial, red being anger, green being bargaining, depression being blue, and acceptance being yellow. Each color being shown to you in such a unique and interesting way that you have to play this game more than once or twice or three times to fully understand some of the little things that it wants to show you. Yes, those were the 5 stages of grief. This game is about Gris, a girl who has lost her mother, or I'm believing to be her mother. Sources online have told me that it was mother, so hopefully they've also said it was sister. So maybe but I think the main thing is it's mother. So as you start the world, you're thrust into a gray, bland world, denial. You are just forced into a straight path of a world that you're not too familiar with. You stumble, you fall, you don't know where you're going, but eventually the world turns red. Anger. The world is literally pushing you backwards and making it so much harder for yourself. But learning to take time and finding yourself and becoming like a rock. Literally, her dress turns into a boulder. Green, the world is more peaceful. Well, as you continue your path, as you complete the red world, it's very short. Stages of grief, usually anger, it's not your main time you'll be spending in anger is just a short, fleeting moment where eventually you go on to bargaining. The world, as you complete the first section of the world, it changes and adds greenery. Trees start forming. Trees of weird? They're flitting in and out, changing shapes. New creatures are being shown. You make a new friend even. As you complete green and you start to learn and not really accept what's going on, you're still being pushed. You still have hate in your heart. You're still angry at the world. But now you found your calm. You are more open to what's going on around you. If you're enjoying today's video, do consider hitting the like and subscribe button. I feel like this is just like, I feel like Spiritfarer just like copied a little bit of Gris in like the constellation, because you literally start to, as you climb the tower and you reach the very top, you walk along this constellation. The world has now turned blue, wet, cold. You're thrown into this world and you're dropped into a sea of ocean. You don't fully understand where you are, where you want to go. The world feels endless, but also so very alone. And then yellow, stages of acceptance. But the world is still very blue. The yellow are just lights, little bits of dots showing you the correct path that you should be taking. Or not even so much a correct path, more of a, there's a light to this darkness. The world is still very blue because depression doesn't leave you. it doesn't, you will always have depression throughout your life, which is such a terrible thought to have, because it's just like, will you never be happy? No, you will be happy, but there will be moments where your downs will be really down, your ups will be really ups, and that's fine. That's just what it's like to be humans. And that's as far as I'm going to go into the game, because there's just so much going on that I'm basically just glossing over the surface. This game is magical, mystical, and it feels like a breath of fresh air to play and to complete, and you start to wonder and think about your truths about yourself, whether you're dealing with depression, whether you're not dealing with depression. Hopefully this game will teach you sympathy, empathy, or whatever, teaching you that the struggles that people have to go through, because there are some times where I feel like I'm going through some of these things, where some days I'm just super angry, and then I'll find acceptance, and then just depression will set in, and then just the acceptance of understanding that some things cannot change. I don't want to make this too depressing, but Gris is a very depressing game, but that's what I love about it. It shows depression in such a way, and shows grief in such a way that it visualizes it, and it makes sense. And I haven't really seen this in any other game. The closest I've probably seen this was Spiritfarer, but not even that took it to this level. Through a game that shows you through music and imagery and symbolism, to the only speaking in this game to being singing, and the most basic form of speech. It's beautiful, and I love this game, and I want you to play it. So this game is available on PC, PS4, not Xbox. I'm sorry for the Xbox lovers, but they didn't bring this out for Xbox. So PC, Mac, Switch, and PS4. It does go on sale regularly on all 3 platforms, so have at it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.